So data, not the guy from Star Trek, data is information collected for which are the values of the variable. Datum is a single variable. I don't like this word. I'm not going to say it much, but a datum is like a single fact about a member of your population. But data is the information we collect that we can calculate and turn into statistics. Okay, so how does a sample differ from a parameter? So a parameter is a numerical characteristic of an entire population, right? That can be estimated by a statistic. The statistic is the numerical characteristic from our sample. So we gather information about our sample and hopes to make assumptions about our population. So for example, I've been misquoting my own statistic. Okay, 49.6% of the world's population is female. Would this class be a good sample? No. At the time I'm teaching this course, everyone in the class is male. So if our class was a sample, our statistic would be 0%. 0% females in this course. What percentage off are we? We're off by a lot, right? We're off by 49.6% entirely. Typically, when I teach this course, I teach it for nursing and physical therapy majors. And those classes tend to be heavily women. So instead of being 0% women, we're closer to like 90, 95%. So like I've said a couple times already, a main concern of statistics is how accurately a statistic estimates a parameter. So for each of the following situations, let's describe the population being studied and identify some of the population parameters that would be of interest. And feel free to get creative and think out of the box, right? When we're doing a statistical study, typically we don't just want to find out one thing about that population, right? We want to find out as many things as we possibly can that logically make sense together. So let's say you work for Farmers Insurance and you've been asked to determine the average amount paid to accident victims in cars without side impact airbags. So one parameter we might want to know is what is the actual amount paid, right? We also might want to know what type of insurance plan they had. We also might want to know the age of the driver because younger drivers and older drivers are more likely to get in car accidents. Maybe we want to know the age of the car because I'm pretty sure side impact airbags are standard, but I know nothing about cars. I really hate driving. Here's another example. Let's say you've been hired by McDonald's to determine the weights of the potatoes delivered each week for French fries. That's kind of funny. So of course we want to know the weights of the potatoes, but it might also be good to know the sales of each McDonald's, right? Because a bigger McDonald's that sells more fries is going to get more potatoes. I think this is a weird example. It came from the textbook. Sorry, guys. Lastly, the U.S. Department of Labor defines the civilian labor force as all those people who are either employed or actively seeking employment. So that doesn't include people who were looking for a job and then couldn't find one and gave up, which is actually quite a large amount. So each month, the Labor Department reports the unemployment rate, which is the percentage of people actively seeking employment. To determine the unemployment rate, what they do is they survey 60,000 households. That's pretty big, right? But considering there's like millions of us in the United States, I don't know exactly how many. That's a pretty good size sample. So what's our population? Well, the population is all US households. And I don't know if this statistic includes like territories like Guam and Puerto Rico. That'd be kind of interesting to know how the unemployment rates differ there. Something to look at. The sample is going to be those 60,000 households. The raw data is whether are they employed or unemployed. Or unemployed. I can spell. Okay, our sample statistic is going to be the percent that are unemployed, employed, and there's something on my screen. And if we're really, really good and we took a representative sample, we can use that to calculate our parameter.